Okay. Do believe we're back. We're back. All right. So we're gonna do a couple of quick things. I got my context window back. So we're gonna do the drive registration real quick. This should not take very long. Oh shit, it hasn't finished this yet. Whoops. God damn it. I forgot about that. Alright, we gotta wait for this. I have to wait for this. God damn it. My bad, y'all. Let's do a quick git push. Let's take out like 3 hours of time from the current work time that has actually been worked, just because I ran out of context window and I haven't been working. Well, context window out of tokens. Sorry, I mean I ran out of tokens. Good God, I have to get my brain into gear. All right. So now the watchdog side of things should already be ready to receive the drives, like the watch drives. Watch drives are defined by goddamn. All right, my bad, dude. Well, we started at 3 p.m. today. It's not the end of the day. Four p.m. So duration stir. Yep. I'm happy for the Knicks. I want the Knicks to win so goddamn. I think everybody wants the Knicks to win. I don't think there's a single person that doesn't. All right. So now what I gotta do is clear. All right, so let's take a quick look at the watchdog. Watchdog should have variables that can be set to basically for like which drives they're watching. Let's make the variables based off of the systems for resolved routes. It should already be this. It should already be this, but beforehand it was being sent via SSH or SFTP, one or the other, I can't remember. And basically it should have just been receiving resolved routes. What we need to work on is the registered drives, which is one level up from that. It's not that complicated in all honesty. So literally all we got to do is make sure that the watch drives resolve to the resolved routes variable. Just double checking, that variable should be a set by the API, correct? It's not a system-wide, local system-wide thing. It should be something that's triggered by the API call, correct? Oh shit, I'm already working. So basically, we're just gonna start watching to make sure that Watchdog can actually be resolved of the resolved routes. Basically, be watching whatever resolved routes it's set to. Then I asked it to make sure that the resolved routes is something that is set by the API call, and not something that lives local system-wide. That way, it lives in memory of the API instance. So whatever API somebody's utilizing, that is the watched files. Actually, wait a minute. Actually, I just realized something. We can make it system-wide. We can. Because it doesn't actually need to be triggered by because the only things that we're actually utilizing as the storage for the system is the media route. So like everything that is media, well, media slash user ID 1000 slash whatever, right? So that's how it's currently set. But so it's always going to be watching that essentially, but which drives within that is what we need to set. So we need to make that. So it basically, to simplify it, it's even more simple. So basically, literally, it just needs to be watching resolved roots, the resolved roots variable, and that should be set as a system service. I'm going somewhere with this. So essentially what we're looking to do is this. Where the fuck is my pen? What? No. Not my favorite pen. Wait a minute. No. What? Where'd the pen go? That's not a... I should have one more in here somewhere. I do. It's not the fucking... Oh wait, there it is. I found it. I have a very specific pen that I like working with. I like using these Pentel 0.5 needlepoint Japanese pens. They're fucking great. It's just, it feels nice. I like them because it feels like pencil and it's not like overly blotchy. It's like, it feels like you're literally writing on fucking needle. It's really, really nice. All right, so in a nutshell, what we're looking to do is this. So, system service resolved root, and that would basically be media / UID 1000 / everything. So this everything is logic. So what we need here is if drive, so check on boot. Check drive. In there, if ID file. System service is not resolved root. It's not resolved root because resolved root is for SFTP. It's actually not resolved root. It's register drive. So then it's going to figure out the system service is for registered drives, for finding registered drives. Basically, it's going to be in here, and then the logic is going to happen here. Logic on boot basically checks drives in ID. If ID file watchdog list. If no, ignore. Easy. That's literally it. That's literally it right here. It's super, super easy. So actually what is gonna need is this. It's literally super, super, super straightforward. We're just gonna build this first part of it, and then we're gonna take it one step at a time afterwards. So, I don't know, I don't remember what the naming convention was, but there's logic also for figuring out where the drive currently is. But I think it's honestly like way simple. So there's a database aspect to it. Inside a Watchdog database, there should be a registered drives table. Now, I think it already is there. It already is. I actually know it already is. So basically, we're going to design a service on the drive. This service is basically going to find registered drives. The registered drives are going to live on media/user ID 1000/ anything after that. But anything after that is defined by a set of logic on boot. On boot, it's going to check each drive to see if it has an ID file and if the ID file matches with one in the database. If it does, then it adds it to the current watchdog list. It gets updated on boot. So like the watchdog drive list. If it doesn't have one, it gets ignored. It doesn't get added to it. So it's not resolved routes, it's just registered drives. And it's a local system, and that's pretty much it. Basically, the watchdog has a list variable that can get paths, values added to it, and then it takes care of everything afterwards, after that, downstream. I don't even think I need the actual fucking Fable 5. I just realized that. This is way easier. I was going to do this from a completely different perspective. I'm so happy that I did this from this perspective. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Let's see what you do. Super, super easy. Oh my god, really? Oh my god, no way. Alright, well shit. I already made something I had already made. God damn it. Whoops. Alright. Okay. Then I guess the next step is literally just drive registration systems. So what we need is a new API functions to be able to create this file. So these are going to be API calls that are made through the application. We're going to take this from just the functions first. Basically, creation of the function, and then it passes ID file, then it passes it over to the database through safe write, and then after that table I mean, that's pretty much it. All it is just literally creating a database drive. Does the scan systems work inside of, are they inside of the dock, or are they inside of the application? No, I'm not. That's. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then basically, we just need to tie it to the UI section that already exists. But that's after that. I mean, if you can handle it all in one shot, fuck it. Let's go. I trust Fable 5. This is actually kind of crazy. I feel so confident giving Fable 5 shit to do. But it's not worth $50. It's not worth $50 per million tokens. I could easily spend, and I'm not even kidding you, just today I've spent another $100. Over the last 2 days, it would have cost me $200 to run Fable. Goddamn. You see, that's the problem right there. That shit gets so expensive so fast. I'm gonna let it do its thing. This is literally like the easiest thing ever. It's not super crazy. But yeah, we also have to tie it to the trash. Trash only exists in the drives that are registered. Should I make trash available in all drives? That kind of makes sense. I don't want to be mean. Trash should exist in all drives. Yeah, trash should exist in all drives. Alright, so this already existed, so I could just fucking literally green it out, yo. Pew 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 pew. Yeah, buddy. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Where is this all this editing now? Ah! This is the application. See? How'd I know? I know my fucking code base, that's why. I can literally look at this code and I know exactly what's happening here. This is fucking phenomenal. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to be able to read code. I can just literally like glance at this shit right here and I can tell what's happening. This SSH clean up registration for removing the registration. Alright, hold on. Let me see how many tokens I took. I'm so curious. 10%, 16, not bad, dude. To be honest, fuck it. 16th. Oh, buddy. Oh boy. I'm running out of tokens quick. But I do like this fucking system, it's great. Alright, fuck. Hold on a second. There is a testing system. Testing. There should be scan systems as well. There's like a whole scan logic that I worked out the other day. Please tell me you didn't delete that, because we're gonna need that actually as well. Can we add that as a separate function within like the API calls that can be made? Hold on a second. Let's take a look at ZDoc. Wait a minute. PyOS, there it is. Driver registration. Can we move? All right, hold on. Yeah, no, I gotta finish. I gotta finish that. The drive scan over from the repository with all the logic for basically it's like cascading logic based off of like the modification date and like all this other stuff, basically working down to like hash value, so it only ever actually needs to scan hash value if it actually needs to scan hash value, because that can get expensive in terms of like time and cost and stuff like that. So it's basically like a filter system to make sure if the files exist already on the database or not. And basically what we need to do is move that over into its own file inside of app server functions. The app server functions folder. And then we need to make it trigger as soon as you add the doc registration, trigger that. After creating the file. So then that way it adds all of the files that it has to the database through SafeWrite. is it possible to use the? I mean, it doesn't currently work this way, but is it possible to use the current watchdog to run the actual scan, or is it more efficient to just do what I already have, which is that logic per folder per file on the entire code base? Let's actually build that one like what we currently have first, and then we'll optimize it right after. But yeah, basically make sure that it writes to the database through safe write. Alright, we're gonna pause this recording for a little bit just because, yeah, we'll pause it, otherwise we're just, nope, there it goes. Should be finishing soon. There should be still cancel mid-scan. It should be able to still cancel mid-scan. I'm just gonna make a trash on every single thing because I don't want to. Yeah. It had to update versus for how we actually do the queue. Good. Oh, sick. No. It's not supposed to run on restart. It's only supposed to run on registration of the drive. So, wait a minute. Did we not just do that? Yeah. As of right now. So, the other time that it's supposed to run the scan is if you hit the scan button on the UI, but that's not what we're working on right now. We're just working on the only time that it should be currently doing the scan is on restart. God damn it. Register drive. Does that make sense? And then it should still be able to be canceled halfway through if it needs to be. That's a function that works with the actual scan button, so like the actual scan itself. And then also if it's scanning meanwhile you're using it, you can actually hit the cancel button on the UI of the application, but that's not what we're working on right now. But that's just context. I just want to make sure that that capability currently exists within that logic for this particular function, because that's how it worked for the app as well on the app side. I just want to make sure that's there like that. %. All right, we're almost at 50. Fuck. 2 16% days. Not bad. I want to make sure that everything that we currently successfully ported into the API functions is deleted off of the app side of things. Please and thank you. That's the next thing. If you need to delete entire files, it's okay. I just want to make sure, as long as everything was transferred over, if there wasn't stuff that wasn't transferred over yet, then flag it and we'll talk about it after you're done removing the other stuff. Wait, is it adding? I also want to revamp the fucking application. I want to revamp the application, like UI, how it looks. I think it just looks so weird and just, it looks hacky. It doesn't even look like AI slop. It literally just looks like fucking, like, just gross. Like, it just looks like old school fucking 2005. That's literally what it looks like. Oh shit, it's done. All right, cool. Yeah. But this is part of the actual scan button. Did I already add the manual scan button? No, I added the register drive button. Okay, so far we just added the register drive button, basically the API, the registration of the drives. We connected that to the UI. We connected the scan to that function, and now what we got to do is basically make the actual scan. So the scan stuff and the cron stuff both fall within the same window. Just verify that. It should be able to hit the cancel button. The drive not registered is in relation to the actual manual scan button, which is separate from the register drive systems. So what we need to do is basically make the cron systems right now for that. So we currently have everything in place. It was broken, but everything was working besides it was updating the drive. Like, well, even before then, upstream from that, we got to work on the fucking time zone stuff. So that's still on this. So let's make a to-do list real quick. First thing we're gonna do is update the time zone stuff. Make it so you can set time zones, tie it to the UI. We have to port all of the SFTP time zone stuff over, or the SSH time zone stuff over to an API system. So basically, inside of API, what was it? API requests. For setting the time zone. Keep the UI side. So there's currently a dictionary that has the front end side of things, because there's like the back end and the front end, right? So the front end, leave that dictionary there. It's good there. We use it for the front end, and basically it's just to translate to the back end, so then that way we know what to send as the API variable that we're sending out through the call. And then after that, we have to make sure that the time zone system is currently working, that it's active and actually functioning. Then after that, we got to make sure that we got to make the API function that updates the system accordingly. And then after that, we're going to work on the cron stuff. And then after that, we're going to work on the manual scan stuff. And the manual scan stuff has everything to do with these flags. So does the cron side of things. So I think that's the order of operations there for us right now. So let's start tackling that with the first. Make me the to-do list for that, please, and then we'll tackle one thing at a time. Please and thank you. Oh yeah. All right, so one last thing I gotta add to your context window. I just realized. So the last thing is that we had it updating the database, like the Watchdog database, before setting the time zone. I don't think that's actually necessary anymore. There was a reason for that. I think it had something to do with the... But honestly, safe action already takes care of that. So basically... Oh shit, I just almost forgot. Oh my god, before everything, we have to add one last thing. The creation of the files for the registration of the drives has to go through safe action. That's the last part. Oh my god, we almost forgot that. But then after that, so we have to talk a little bit about that Watchdog. I mean, does it make sense to keep it still just as a safety? But I mean, or does having it go through safety actions, is that enough? This is before I had safe actions, so I think honestly that it's enough at this point because it has the buffer. I think that makes the most sense. And honestly, to the time zone window, I think we should do 2 time zones. We should do one from for the dock itself, right? Because the reason why we have this essentially right now is basically, nah, we don't need that. We don't need 2 time zones. We don't need them. Because I was gonna say local time zone too. It's like, I think we have on the actual time zone window, I think we have local time zone, and like with the actual Mac or like the actual machine that you're working the app off of, and then we also have the other side, which is the dock time zone. I believe it's like that currently, but I was just thinking about that because what if you get confused between setting, like let's say you're in a different time zone. We might be overthinking it here, but for the cron window for scheduling, if we have it so you can change the dock cron stuff, but then you can see what time it would be local next to it, not as an editable variable, but as something that changes in relation to the set time for the scheduling on the cron window. And if the local time zone for the application machine is already a variable that lives in memory, then we could just pull that as the variable to make up for the difference in time. So that's another thing I would like to add. I don't know if that's currently part of cron. That's actually definitely, I know for a fact it's not yet, but I feel like that would be kind of cool to have too. That'd be nice. So yeah, let's add that to it too, and then let's take add that to the to-do list, please, that we have here. Thank you. And then there's stuff in here that I don't really need anymore. And then we gotta make the testing systems. Anything that touches the file base of the directory needs to go through safe action. Perfect. Then that's great. Yeah, I think the other reason why we had it was basically for like the database, right? Was honestly just for the UI, to be honest. I think that might have been what it's for, but because we're working through an API, I think we could just call the actual time zone through the UI as a UI call. Doesn't that make sense? Basically just pump it through the IO of the API as a default. Like if you're in that window, basically pull by default as soon as you open that window for time zone, basically pull the current time zone. I think that makes sense. That way you don't even need the time zone database, right? Oh wait, wow, there it is. Honestly, it doesn't need to show the local time zone for the machine, the app machine there. I think that could just live in backend for the cron window, to be honest, because that could just be a call. Like that's just literally a bash command. That's not like the craziest thing in the world. You don't even need sudo for that. Or do I? I don't think so. Well, it depends on the permissions of the system that I'm working on and how they're doing it. But most default, like by default, most people don't mess with that kind of permission unless they're like a company machine with an IT department. Would you say that that's accurate? And then other than that, I think yes, safe action is enough. And in relation to the first thing that you said, like I said originally, safe action would be good. So yeah, let's do that. And let's not make it so it doesn't need to write. Let's make it so it doesn't need to write to the database for this. It doesn't need to touch that. It makes no sense now because now everything's local to the machine, to the dock, I mean. Shit, it is. Then we can make that part of the local setup where you type in the system password. We can patch that in as one of the things we patch through. So we can give ourselves permission to pull datetime as needed. What do you think? Okay. Okay. Or actually, is the local Mac machine time, like application side machine time, overdoing it? I feel like it kind of is. Could I also potentially make a PLIST that I push during the PKG file to basically give myself permission, well, the application permission to pull the time and date? Would that be invasive? Other than that, let's continue with the dockside time zone API actions. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought I was adding that for the first time. I was like, what shit, what? I was about to fucking be like sad. Alright, what it added was remove drive ID here. And it added... No, that's it. Alright. But answer my question first, actually. Then pause, and then we'll continue. I gave it contradicting fucking requests. Wow. Alright, we're smart. It's gonna be a good year for gaming. This is arguably, I'm not even kidding you, like this is arguably one of the best years for gaming in like the last, like easily like the last 8 years plus. Like I would say 2017 was the last like quote unquote good gaming year. 2017 maybe. I think that's when like Majora's Mask for the 3DS came out and shit like that. I think like 2016, or was it 2014? Some shit like that. But yeah, dude, honestly, like that's, I would consider that. Hold on a second. Oh, then what the fuck? Then why'd you tell me it was? Then I was only suggesting that because you told me I did need pseudo access. Then if we don't, let's add that to the cron window as well. So then that way we have the local time and then the time zone time from the dock. So then that way we can actually set it based on the dock. Like, so basically it updates the local time in relation to what you're setting the dock time on, and the dock time is, and it's basically doing the difference between the time zone that is on the dock, which is a variable that could be either called or it could exist in the configuration file. But honestly, I think just calling it is fine. It's clean enough. But then it has to feed that every single time that, well, I guess every single time that you change the time, it has to make the call. Would it make more sense to make it live locally? But then it's like 2 different variables you have to update every single time that you change that. And then if you change it meanwhile, like on another machine, nah, that's way too much. Let's make it a live API call then, yeah. I'm not looking to set the system clock settings. I'm looking to literally just read it. It's read only. So yeah, we don't need that. So then, yeah, let's do that. Let's add that to the scope for the cron window. And then let's continue with the dockside API actions. Time zone. All right, so yeah, we're getting rid of the watchdog status for time zone. Like, we're just getting rid of that. Like, we don't need it. Oh shit, I already have a set time zone. Let's pull it into the actual API actions, so then that way it lives as an API action. I don't want it to live out, like, all the API actions should live within API actions. I think there was already a set time zone function, but it was accessed through SSH. So that's old architecture, so we need to update that. Thank you for bringing that up, nice. As for the auto option, I still want the auto option. Is that not a thing that I could do still? Why would it change? I mean, that should be something that's settable, isn't it? So it's like a variable that's settable for the actual service, for the time zone service. Is that not the case? Alright, let's see. Preference home. Alright, cool. Alright, let's continue with the next one. What are we at? Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if we could just like knock this shit out. If I could just get this done in like 2 hours, that would be like the best thing ever. And then I could just literally ask it to like delete all the tickets that are no longer necessary based off the stuff that we've done. Which is most. I think that'd be like, dude, I'm almost done. Because that's a lot of, no, not that, not that. Honestly, this is like most of this shit gone. Why is this? This is old. Hold on a second. Don't save. Project priority. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, dude, so this is like most of Watchdog scan, time zone stuff is parked currently. And then I'm just gonna build backend and also build front end, I guess, testing systems. I need some way to do that without fucking going all ham with the other one, like the other ones did. We're gonna delete the other old testing systems. Alright, wait, this is done. Alright, let's see. Settings tab rewired. Cool, save on here. Good. And once again, just double checking, making sure the time zone stuff no longer touches the watchdog, correct? If so, we can move on to the cron stuff. And then we also have cron stuff that touches the watchdog database. That one I think actually does stay. It should go through safe rate because that's what sets, I mean, well, technically it's cron, so it lives in cron, right? Like the dates and stuff like that. Can I read the dates and populate the UI with that relatively quickly, like with what is currently the case? And then what would happen if if it didn't populate fast enough? Would it populate fast enough is basically my initial question. Should like, there should be, if it doesn't, then maybe gray out the window until it populates, then ungray it out. That would make kind of more sense, I think. I'm trying to remove stuff out of the database that doesn't need to be in there, and I feel like this is one of them, because if it exists already within cron, I feel like, and that's already a file that's saved, I don't feel like I should need to also keep it on the watchdog database. It kind of seems a little redundant. Like, two of the same points of data. This is like the most back and forth day I've had with like, this is like the most fluid Claude Code session I think I've had like ever. It's so nice. I'm gonna miss Fable 5, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna miss it. Yes, last scan date is not redundant, you're right, good catch. Cron tab line, yeah, that already exists there and there. Okay, cool. So then, solid. Add that to the cron port scope, and then let's keep going with time zone 3 first. Verified doc time zone system is live, and then we can move on to 5. Just do one right after the other. Go for it. Dude, this is so much cleaner than my old system because the other way I had it was fucked. I was trying to basically do... Oh, fuck. Wait. One last thing. The time zone change should go through safe action. Same with the cron stuff. It should go through safe action. Anything that is an actual action that's a verb that is done through there should be going through safe action by default. Is the architecture supporting that so I don't have to keep restating safe action every single time? Because if we could do that within the architecture instead of needing to restate that, that would be better, to be honest. So if we had like on the API side an action function and then it populates with the actual action function. Is that redundant? I feel like it kind of is. But or maybe we just call it into every single function. I mean, I feel like that's kind of redundant. But at the same time, it's also kind of the same thing. It's like a potato-potato situation. What do you think regarding that? Before you work on cron 5. It's so crazy. I needed to do the time zone, to do cron, to do the manual scan. This is lovely, dude. I'm flying. We're gonna have a lot of testing to do. I'd rather just get to the testing and be done with this building because, I mean, most of this is just literally importing. That's the reason why I'm just like floating through this, is because most of this work is already done. It's literally just transferring it. So like the logic is done, all the systems are designed, all the shit is done. It's literally just fucking boom, 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 boom. %. This is lovely. I'm fucking flying. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. It's not so many. Regarding making the watchdog a hard dependency for safe actions, I mean, to be honest, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not even safe action is not feeding a watchdog. It's not working through that. It's a service. It's a service file, right? Basically, if anything exists inside of the service file, do that. And there's functions that you can call for that. You populate the bash commands, basically. And then basically it's a queue. It's like a queue service. That's essentially what safe action is. I agree with the architecture, the registry level routing. I agree with the architecture, registry level routing. I feel like that honestly would be cleaner too. That, like I said, it's like not needing to call it every single time would be fucking nice. Because then it's like if I do ever want to change that, I can change it at the top upstream and not like fucking within every single function. That would be a pain in the ass. Because then I have to remember that, and that's not something I need to remember or want to remember. I understand that queuing them would add a new failure mode, but my whole point is basically the goal of that is because don't forget we have multiple users. So the expense of adding another potential failure point is having it have a race condition. You know, it's like that's another type of error. So it's like it's one or the other kind of a situation. I think everything queued is probably the best way to go, as annoying as it is. What do you think about my logic there? I mean, that's the whole point of the queue. I mean, originally it's for specifically, unless I make those tasks admin specific tasks, which makes more sense. It's only one user, but then what if one user has admin, more than one user has admin access? That's the other side of it. Then I only need to work off of one shape. And honestly, if the queue works, it works. You know, it's like it's this the only difference. I don't understand. Like I don't see what other kind of point of failure I could possibly have happen there that I wouldn't be able to catch now. Because it is pretty robust within itself. Like the entire concept of that system is pretty healthy, I think. What do you think? Give me your honest feedback, please. Don't cater to me. I am looking for honest feedback.
Dies. Oh, we split into 3 different timelines, but it has to be after.
Let me read this. Alright, so where your logic is sound, multi-user racing agreement. Yes, it is real. My set schedule draft does read, modify, write, contra. 2 admins saving at once can lose one of the rights. Yep, a single consumer genuinely. eliminates that class. You're not imagining the win. Correct. One shape beats per verb memory. Routing at the registry level the registry means the policy lives in one table. Yes. Change it upstream once. Never remember per function. That's the right instinct. Correct. If the queue works, it works. Mostly yes. JSON plus error. Contact is clean. Validated injection free. Single writer. The core concept is healthy. Where the model and reality diverge. Safe action is not its own service today. The consumer action drain is a thread inside a Watchdog daemon. Watchdog service is the unit that runs it. So, I mean, can it handle it? Is it? Honestly, if it can handle it, fuck it. Can it not? Like, what would happen in the case where? I mean, is it a separate thread than the database Watchdog side? If that's the case, then that's fine, because that's the whole point of threading. And then all the Watchdog stuff lives in one location, and then everything's based on the same system. I mean, this sounds like good architecture to me. Overall, I mean, like, everything is kind of like not all over the place, where it's like one of them is a service, one of them is Watchdog, one of them is this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's better. I feel like the Watchdog is okay. As long as it can handle it, meanwhile being able to handle the database writing. And if that's a separate thread, then it definitely can, right? There would be no race conditions involved between the two actions, because they're two separate actions. They're two separate sets of actions in two separate threads. Oh shit, wait, what is this wait system? I mean, execute batch. Yeah, we want to execute batch per action. I mean, as long as if it executes the batch, I mean, not even batch. I mean, what about per action itself? Is that too much? Like, is that inefficient? Where basically we have, let's say, the Watchdog sees something is in there, fucking do it, delete the item in the log. Q. I mean, I don't think it needs the wait. Does it need a wait? I mean, I think... Why should it be based on time? Why can't it be based on event? Like, by action? I feel like that would be better. Because then it's like, on the item delete, then do the next one. On item delete, then do the next one. On item delete, do the next one, in relation to the queue itself. Right, then what's the problem? be honest, I feel like we should make more robust error handling for action. I mean, so what we actually eventually need to do, this is a ticket. Okay, here's the result. Here's the solution for that. Fuck that 30-second bullshit. That's messy. That's sloppy and that's lazy. What we need to do is basically this. We need to correlate the action in relation to the current queue item. List. If there's a contradicting item, then return an error message. Can't do this. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, and honestly, and then we could feed it into the function in the registry level where it does where it sets it to the queue. So itself. So it basically, it could happen, that could sift for any potential race conditions or any contradicting actions that don't currently reflect what's available on the dock or or something that's currently being moved or something like that. So like, for example, let's say you have 100 items and item number 99 moves item from folder A to folder C, and then you say, another user is like, yo, I want to move this item from folder A to folder B, except folder A to folder C is ahead of it in the queue, and that contradicts it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of logic applied to every single verb. I mean, this should be a ticket. This is something we have to address as a whole separate thing, I think. But I think that system solves for that, doesn't it? I think that would basically be the new architectural organ that you're kind of like pointing towards there too. I think that's the better model, to be honest. That's more robust and that's way more mature than this fucking bullshit, fucking 30-second shit. What the fuck? No way. Other than that, let's go with the registry level queued verb forwarder, and then we'll work on the error handling systems later. Oh my god.
What if I was a black guy? Yo, 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 what if I was a black woman? Yo, what if I was a black woman? I don't want to be black anymore. I don't want to be black anymore. I don't want to be black anymore.
Oh my god.
I don't want to be black anymore.
Tyler the Creator. Oh my god. No, that's terrible.
Oh, so when I was 15, I could date 15-year-olds, but now that I'm 30, I can't date them anymore?
Drake!
Bullshit. I'll just slurp you from down the street. I need an airplane. I need 3 airplanes to get... Yo, what if I was a black guy? Yo, what if I was a black guy? Look, just because I made a Heil Hitler song and then wore a black...
Kanye West.
doesn't mean I'm a white supremacist. My mom died, so it doesn't count. I want a white wife I can talk to and an Asian girl to do jutsu. I don't want gay people influencing my kids. I only want straight people influencing my kids. That's why I hired a pedophile to touch my son when he turned 13. Because that's good parenting. Yo, can y'all just let the Rihanna thing go? Jeez, what about all the other women you keep hitting? Fuck you just said? Ah! Yo, what if I was a...
Chris Brown. Oh my god. Dude. This gets heavy.
Capitalism does not incentivize
I want a fucking potbelly pig so goddamn bad, dude. Oh my god. Major architectural changes. Let's see where we're at with the tokens. 42%, not bad. 3 a.m., we're like 2 hours in. Not too bad. Dude, I'm gonna miss Fable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna miss it. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. This is actually like really good. The rate at which it builds, like how fast things are, like how it just fucking gets things. It just doesn't. I don't have to go into like super details. I didn't even need it to like actually like read my entire architecture in a separate thing. So fucking nice. God damn it. I wonder if it would make sense to translate or like summarize, for it to like summarize its own version of my wiki. I wonder if that would make sense. So let's see, we finished trash testing. This is one that already exists. Schedule testing, time zone testing, register drives. Then I need manual scan. I think schedule testing has manual scan and cancel. It should also be able to cancel during cron, during the manual scan, during the just making sure also that the cron scans is triggering the scan functions, but now here's the thing, it should be able to be canceled. So you should be able to hit the cancel button on the UI. Let's do that too. Meanwhile, we're doing the manual scan button to scan drives. And then also basically make it so the cancel button is available as an option during the scan drives. During the scanning. During the actual scanning, and that it actually updates the scan drive window with the scanning status. So then you can basically hit the cancel button. Don't do the progress bar though yet. That's a whole other set of tickets. That's like a whole other system that we're doing. We're doing one status bar that we're just going to literally populate in different locations and call and populate with different points of data. So it's like that's a whole other system. It's actually like pretty nifty, so don't worry about that. Regarding the scan 6 step. But let's make it so the actual scan button is grayed out if it's being scanned by a cron scan or a manual scan, and then make it so the cancel button is available for either or. Does that make sense? This is simple shit. This is not like this is the kind of shit that I can trust an LLM with all fucking day. The only stuff that gets really crazy is like the other stuff. I kind of want to address that fucking error handling system, because that's kind of sounds like one function, literally, simple logic. But I also want to finish this other shit. And then we could do a git push. It's such a massive git push though. That honestly works. The cron scan, trigger. Is that already how it currently works? What we currently built here? Can we update the progress bar button ticket creation ticket, the universal progress bar ticket, to basically say that this is one of the places that we're going to need the progress bar for time zone? Please and thank you as well. I'm sorry. My other message was in relation to when we actually start scan 6. So scan 6 needs to be finished in order for that to be a thing that we can actually build. So then that way we don't have to state it twice or build it twice. You get what I'm saying? Basically, that's going to be a whole other thing. But can we get to scan 6, or do we need to finish cron 5B? Oh yeah, cron 5B, let's do that right now. And then let's get right on to scan 6. And then I'm just giving you that other context, the other message I sent you in relation to the graying out, and then also being able to hit cancel on the manual scan or the cron scan is in relation to the scan 6 being finished. So we gotta do that. It's when we do that task. So that's not the worst thing in the world. What do you think, actually? I want your honest opinion, please. Thank you. I think it's not the worst thing in the world, but I want to know what that thing, what the fucking the AI thinks. I mean, you could do that. You have SSH access. It's currently set up. You can do it. You already know it. So wait, so did you make the UI gray out during the local scan, no, during the scan, manual scan or the cron scan? So you can do it for both, and then you can hit cancel for both. So basically it's the same action. It should basically be getting fed to the single location, like the actual status. How did you build out that architecture? Because I want to make sure before we actually greenlight that, because I want to make sure that it's not inefficient in the sense that it's one or the other, that it's basically both feeding a single UI instance. So then that way the function itself, the scan function itself, because it's being called in either instance of the local, manual scan or the cron scan, they're both using the same exact function, so they both should be feeding it's like the one function that is feeding the UI itself. Does that make sense? It's 12 a.m. already. Fuck. 2 hours in. Not too bad. Alright, so let's do a quick check for everything that we changed. Just to make sure that... Oh, hold on. I think we could just do testing. We could just do testing. Fuck it. Alright, let's do a git push, please. Not the end of day yet. We're continuing. It's 12:11 a.m. right now, just for reference, but we're not done yet. It's still the same day that we closed out on June 10th. We're continuing that day. So remove the end time, the current end time. It's still not done yet.
Gamers, I'm not okay. If I'm not okay.
Stop playing, and then I heard.
Alright, I'm gonna pause this recording because this is gonna take a hot minute for the git push. Let's see how much that actually approved. It's almost done. It's just finishing up right now. So we were at 30 something or 40 something, and now we're at 63%, 20% on fucking Fable 5 for the Git push on high. I'm quite happy with the new updates. And this is a massive push. This is like huge architectural shift for entire systems. Let's see. Yeah, these files here, all of these are not, they're grayed out, dude. They're still gray. I have to fucking Let's try shops here. D&D functions, working. I have to do a lint soon, I think. I'll do it after I'm done with this new update, this change. Like all these systems, like once I'm done moving everything over, I think I'll be good. I just realized I don't actually need to include rsync. I just have to include my version of rsync on the actual dock itself. I just realized that's true. Huh. Wow, it's actually at 70%. It wasn't like 60% this time at least, you know? Fuck, dude. Well, it's updating all the shit. Why is it touching OAuth stuff? Oh, no, that's after. Okay. It's not actually touching OAuth stuff. Alright, cool. We back. One last thing I forgot to check is if there are any tickets that I can close. In here, nope, not here. And here. In this one. In this one. Or this one. Or this one. Or this one. Or this one. Also, there's a thing that I want to do. I'm making a decision. I think that any drive that is currently within the registered drives or not registered drives should get trashes. Nah. I'm basically just looking for anything that is either no longer, like, it's either superseded or it's not something that is relevant to the current system architecture that we have, because this is old. All these projects are old. So basically I want to see if there's any tickets in any of these projects that can either be closed because they're either superseded or they don't make sense in relation to the current system, or there's something else that was built in place of that original design. Stuff like that, like just stuff that I can just take out, and I want to see how many we can actually take out, because I feel like we actually knocked a bunch out. Well, it's basically all of them, to be honest. Alright, this is gonna take a hot minute. This also might use the rest of my tokens, potentially, we'll see. So we're at 71% right now. $12:43 and reset at 3 AM. Fuck. Almost 50% of the week at day 2. This is not looking good. I'm way too efficient with this shit. Oh my god. Let me see here. This one here should basically be completely dead, actually. The 301 and 350, because there should be no SFTP stuff left, like at all. Everything's been moved over already regarding that. Pretty much everything should be gone, like. What is 244 regarding the 2 resolver classes? What is ticket 46? I'm not too sure as to what that's referring to. And then same with 208. I'm not too sure what those tickets are referring to. What are the goals of each ticket in question? Everything else that can be closed, yeah, I definitely can vouch that they are definitely closable. All right, we back. Let's do a git push on that, and then let's also add the error handling for the action queue for the safe action to the next item on the to-do list, please. Thank you. Not the end of day yet. I think I'm gonna address that as the last bit, and then we're gonna go to sleep. We'll attempt to at least. Let's see where we're at with tokens. Yeah, I think I can handle that. This shouldn't take too long because all it is literally just updated tickets, but we'll see. We'll find out. That actually was not half bad, dude. That was not half bad at all. Okay. Let's see, how many tokens did we actually use on that? Dude, this is so much better! Alright, let's see here. To-do list. Where's that? To-do list. Alright. I do have my fucking server. I kind of want to build out an app. To show my to-do list items. I kind of want to see that. I don't know yet. We'll find out. I think I've pretty much already laid out the logic for this. All right, last session of the day pretty much. All right, so we're basically going to work on this right here. What we're going to try to do, I think I already like pretty much hashed out the logic for this. Essentially what we want to do is the action, like the queue for the safe action, basically like when you are going to assign something to the safe queue, the goal is essentially to determine whether or not it is an item that can actually be added as a safe queue item. Well, no, as a queue item. Action queue item. Does this make sense? The goal is basically to... That gecko is ginormous, dude. That's the biggest gecko I've seen here so far. And I also have a frog that's been living outside. They're so cute. I love my little gecko friend. I hope he never dies. I hope he has enough food. So there's two different types of action items. There is like admin action items where like time zone stuff, all that sort of stuff. That honestly very minimal in terms of the lifespan of that item existing within the queue, because it's going to get done within milliseconds. It's a very quick action to do. But what I'm more worried about is, but I still want to have something there, just in the freak accident that someone was to do something simultaneously as someone else. It's just like, it'd be good to have. There's two different approaches that we could do for this. Number one would be, if an action item exists, freeze the button that can execute the next one for these kinds of tasks. That's one approach. Technically, the scan kind of works that way. Technically. But it has its own graying out feature because it's such a long-lasting item. Task. But I think the fundamental logic should basically be, if a task that falls within these like admin tasks, like setting cron dates, like setting time zone, I honestly can't think of another one that would need that.
Are recognizing who you truly
All right. That kind of that covers that kind of a task. I honestly can't think of another one. maybe like a new user creation, but that's only an admin thing, and I honestly think no, that would cover it too. So essentially, I think the logic itself should be if the item that is in memory that is being transferred over as the variable exists currently within, like, because there's different key values, right? So it's like, I think it's JSON file, right? So basically it's like the key and a value. So it's like if identical keys or identical values, whatever the one is the actual variable doing the what, that's defining the what, not how much, not change to what or anything like that. The what is being changed. As long as that currently exists inside of the queue, then it can't be, it will return back, this is currently being edited by somebody else. Or something along the lines of that, that's not so scary sounding. Then, for the other one, would be the longer lasting stuff that could last a little bit longer, that does have a longer lifespan, which is like basically like directory editing. So move stuff, renaming stuff, any of that kind of stuff, I feel like would be a something that lasts inside of the actual queue for a longer amount of time. But basically what it would be is it would correlate an item that is being, if an item is currently being moved, then you cannot move that item. Same kind of concept. The what, if there's a what that is being moved to somewhere else or renamed to somewhere else or literally anything to, because if there's a what in there, that means that it's being edited in some way, shape, or form. Then that one can't be touched, and it would return the entire set of actions back, or it would sift out the one that is being edited currently, and then it would take the other ones. But I think it would be a little cleaner if it just returned the entire thing back. With an error message saying there's another user doing something with this file, and then point out which particular file was the error causing one. Should I also include who is doing what inside of the because then that would make it sound less scary. Then they'd be like, oh, it's this person that's doing that. Because you can pull the who from the configuration file. The configuration file has the username in it. So basically you could just pull that and add it into the actual JSON file for any of the, and that's part of the actual queue. This is the whole beauty of this fucking mechanic here, where it's basically the registry for the action queue, where basically you can add that as part of the variables that are being placed in there. It just basically would sift that out for any actions. It's a useless variable, so it would just get tossed once it's done. You get what I'm saying? I think that's a pretty cohesive outline. Let me know what you think. Am I being a little bit too ambitious here with like the actual design of that, or is there a better approach? I love that one. what do you recommend for that, for the last question that you have there? Because, I mean, it's a millisecond window kind of a situation, but I still would rather have it, it's a little gap. It is a millisecond gap. You know, it is a gap. So I would kind of like it closed. But then it's like, are there instances where there would be, where you would want two submits to both pass? Run it. Do you have the full design document here? Ready to go? Do you have enough data variables that you needed? 75, 77. All right, we're almost done. Once that's done, oh my goodness, we made a fucking great amount of progress. Scan refactor, scan zone cleanup. Is this done? I think this one is done. All right, this might be doing it for, might be running for a hot second, so I'm gonna give it some time. You know what? I'm gonna actually update some of these, like these things right here are not actually, I need them to be the right color. Directory actions, API connection, action workers, browser requests. I think I can get rid of fucking rsync on the fucking, on the actual application side. I think I can get rid of that. I think I just need to fucking ship it with Tailscale. That's the only one I actually need.
Before he even poured out, she was like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" Boy, she even looked at this nigga like, "What you gonna do?"
On a padded bar connected to Barney's jaw, and when the actor nodded his head, he would open and close the mouth. At the same time, he would pin his elbows to his sides, since the T-Rex's arms were so short, and as he danced, he would reach over 100 degrees inside. The head didn't come off, so he would stick a fan inside the dinosaur's mouth to stay cool. He would bite down the
Oh my god, claustrophobic. I got so anxious listening to that. That made me so goddamn anxious. Listening to people that can't get out of a suit. Oh my god, dude, that is so anxiety causing. All right, can we update the files, like the wiki.md files for doc API connection, action workers, browser requests, directory actions handler, drive registration requests, schedule requests, time zone requests. I think you can see also tailscale utils. Figure out which part they each go to. I think it's pretty obvious. Just look at the file. If it goes to the doc, make it the doc color. If it goes to the application, make it the application color. I don't think there's anything new for the server, so I think that's the only two options currently. Besides like testing systems, and testing systems get pink. Schedule request is another one. Drive registration request, I think I already said that one. Yeah, those are the only ones. They need their colors updated to reflect either being from the UI. I don't think any of those are actual UI side of things. I think that's all backend if it's the app. I don't think any of those are UI. It's either backend, doc, application, or doc. I need those colors. It's for the for my nodes. For Obsidian. Please and thank you. %. All right, cool. All right, so now we currently have the testing system. So we did trash testing, any time zone testing, any schedule testing, and we already register drive. We already have move. All right, rename. All right, next side is going to be the testing systems. We are going to add them following the same exact architecture as the folder. these are the testing scenarios for each one. I do believe we also need a manual scan, but I think it might be in the scheduled one. I think there might be some manual scan testing in there. If not, we also need some of those. We need some testing scenarios for those as well. But basically, yeah, just follow the same folder structure as any of the other tests that are in this folder. Basically, they need a folder per test with the test cases, run all, and the scenarios.py. With the test cases, scenarios, Python file, and the run the tests, the run all tests. For basically everything that we did today, I think it's pretty much those particular systems. That's pretty much all we covered today. Thank you. Also, please make sure that they follow the actual same testing pipelines, in the sense that it's not generating its own pipelines. It's literally interacting and engaging with the actual API calls, basically simulating the UI side of things, but only for backend. So yeah, if we could just do that, that'd be awesome. And basically just if it needs any feedback or any like option selections, all that sort of stuff, then simulate it with the Python script, if statements, all that sort of stuff. It's just testing backend. So just making sure that the scenarios are fulfilled as if it was using the UI, but literally engaging with the APIs themselves. And that's it. And then can we also double check that the other tests are doing that as well, please? Thank you. Just double check that. They should be, but just double check it, please. Thank you. All right, this is gonna take a hot minute. All right, so basically, just because I didn't record this shit, I just realized that. We're checking creating testing systems for the overall, oh, wait a second. Ignore the Claude.md that has old testing workflows. Just use the current folders that I pointed out as the footprint for that, as what's the word I'm looking for? As the template. We also have to update the testing systems, the testing creation systems to reflect that, but yeah, please ignore that. I'm sorry, I forgot about that part. I'm also going to check this while I'm at it. Why is it taking so long? Oh. Wrong one. Just do it. Alright, so essentially these right here, so like browser requests, this should technically be blue, dark blue. Let's see. Browser requests. Yeah, dark blue. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is done then. Alright, this is gonna be running for a hot minute. Alright, I'll be back. I'm so worried. I'm at 80%, let's see. 89, almost 90%. Alright, yeah, this is definitely the last thing I'm doing today. I'm not even gonna do the git push, to be honest, just because technically I could wait another hour and a half. If I waited an hour and a half, I can keep going. But I think I'm gonna stop tonight. I'm gonna run that tomorrow. Add this to the to-do list. You don't have to make a ticket. Literally just add it to the to-do list. Ignore the to-do list workflow for that. Just literally add it to it. The open question that you have here, because I need to do that, but I'm gonna close the day off. I'm gonna even do a git push. But I'm only at 90%, so I like in terms of my tokens available right now, so I'm really close to being full. So I'm actually gonna push off doing the rest of the workflow until tomorrow. I'm gonna leave this chat window open, and then I'm gonna continue it tomorrow when I have more tokens to be able to actually do the git push properly. But you can update the work log and then do the actual git push itself for everything we did, and then yeah, for this context window of conversation. And then add, like I said, that open question, add that to the to-do list, please. Thank you. I'll address it tomorrow. Then if you can please give me a full summary, like a little like in-depth summary of what we did today. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It is 1:40 a.m. Technically, if I just wait fucking 1 hour, I can keep going. I feel good too. Alright, I gotta stop. Let's see what these are. These files were added in. Why are these tests not in here? None of the tests are showing up. I guess they don't fall within the actual scope of Ingest. I just realized that. None of the other tests are in there, are they? In the meantime, I'm also going to actually run this test. I kind of want to see what happens. Time zone test. Actually, I'll run this with Sonnet. Can we do a quick script inside of here? That is literally called basically I wanted to literally just import each one of these and then run each one of them in sequence. That's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward Python script. All right, let's run all the tests real quick. All right, we're just gonna run all the tests real quick just to make sure that these are actually working. Let's see how these run. Action sets, run tests. Oh shit. All right, so we're gonna just bugged out for a split second. So we're gonna do Python 3. And we're gonna run all the tests. All right, weird. That one's still not working. Add to the to-do list for tomorrow that we gotta basically also make sure that for every one of the moves and all the stuff that lands on the Watchdog database, that we are checking the Watchdog database per action to ensure that each action is being registered as it's done. Well, after it's done. That's like a separate to-do list item below the one that we just added in the last git push. And then we'll do one more git push, and that's pretty much it. There's a new test in there that was added, just a new script that runs all the tests for every single backend test. Just a heads up. Simple git push. A lot of stuff that's failing. We're about to find out if some of this stuff works or doesn't. Finish running the workflow. It's the next day. Don't count this as the start of the next day. Just literally just finish the workflow for the git push, please. Thank you. Woof. Well, that failed. That's not good. I need to coordinate these tests. None of these should actually be registering. That's the thing. I don't think these tests are actually done correctly. This is for tomorrow. Just a little note that I'm leaving here for myself. Basically, none of the tests should technically be passing when it comes to any of the pushes or pulls. I mean, moves or any of that stuff. None of that should actually be registering with the watchdog. So basically, we have to also make a test scenario for all of the dock moves and actions, where it's like, and renames and all that sort of shit, where it's like a registered drive and a non-registered drive. So have those two test scenarios. But then, yeah, but the ones that are registered, so basically we need to run registering first and then run the unregistering ones. So it's like there's a bunch of other shit that needs to be run, and then there's like separate, just like a register thing that's run before all of the stuff that's currently run, and then an unregistered test, and then just a straight up register unregister test and stuff like that. Just different scenarios that none of these tests should technically be passing, but they are, so they're not actually built correctly. I have to double check these. Also, for the manual scan, you're not supposed to be able to manually scan a drive that's not registered. Registered drives are the only ones that can actually be scanned. Everything else needs to have an error message, so that's another thing that I gotta do. Alright, so we did a bunch of building, but we have a lot of debugging ahead of us. Alright, that's pretty much it for today. Alright, thank you very much for joining me. That's pretty much it. I have a lot of shit I have to do tomorrow. Some stuff was built correctly, some stuff wasn't built correctly, or like the tests are not built correctly technically. We're gonna find out, because if we build the tests correctly, then things should be failing technically. There's things that should not be, well, maybe the tests are built correctly. I have to double check them. I have all the test scenarios, and they're the same exact test scenarios that I personally built beforehand. So I assumed that they were translated correctly, but we're gonna have to check that out tomorrow. Alright, so thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Tomorrow's gonna be a hell of a day. 3, 2, 1.